Hello everybody. Now I would like to solve mini exercise on trigonometric functions integration. Number 1. Integrate secant x with respect to x. How to integrate this function? We don't have a rule for secant, but we have the integral for secant square and secant multiplied by tangent. Then if you multiply here secant x, if you multiply it by secant x plus tangent x and divide by itself here, secant x plus tangent x, you will get what here? You will get integral for secant multiply secant. It will be secant square. It will be secant square x plus secant multiply tangent. It will be secant x tangent x over secant x plus tangent x with respect to x. If you look for the numerator and its denominator here, you will find that derivative for secant is secant tangent, the derivative of tangent secant square. Then now we have what? We have the 4, which is integral for u prime over u du. It is ln u, absolute value of u plus c. Now the derivative for tangent is secant square. The derivative for secant is secant tangent. Then up derivative down, then it will be here. This is ln, absolute value for secant x plus tangent x plus the constant of integration. Okay. Number 2. How to get the integral for tangent x with respect to x. You know that tangent x is what? From the identities of trigonometric functions, it is sine x over cosine x with respect to x. Now you have a fractional form. What is the derivative for cosine? It is negative sine. Then you will multiply by negative here and negative out. Negative by negative will be positive. Then now u prime over u. This is like negative u prime over u du. No, now apply the rule here. It will be negative ln u absolute u plus c. Then here it will be negative ln absolute cosine x plus c. By the same way, you can find cotangent x. Here, number 3. Integrate cotangent x with respect to x. Then convert cotangent x to what? Cosine x over sine x with respect to x. Now, what is the derivative for sine? It is cosine. Then u prime over u. Then it will be ln absolute value for sine x plus c. By the same way, number 4, integrate cosecant x with respect to x. What's the rule for this function? You can multiply by cosecant x like cosecant x plus cotangent x over cosecant x plus cotangent x with respect to x. Then it will be cosecant multiply cosecant, it will be cosecant square x plus cosecant x cotangent x over cosecant x plus cotangent x with respect to x. Now, what is the derivative for cotangent? It is negative cosecant square. Then you're going to write negative here. The derivative for cotangent is negative. What is the derivative for cosecant? Negative cosecant. Then if you multiply by negative here, out, and negative here, then negative by negative will be positive. Okay, now negative cosecant square is the derivative for cotangent, and negative cosecant cotangent is the derivative of cosecant. Now up derivative down, it will be negative ln absolute value for cosecant x plus cotangent x plus c. Number 5. Integrate sine x over cosine power 4x with respect to x. Now you can rewrite this question to cosine power negative 4x sine x dx. Now cosine x, what is the derivative for cosine? It is negative sign. Then if you multiply here by negative and out by negative, now this function is the derivative for the inner function cosine. The derivative for cosine is negative sign. Then apply the power rule. Then it will be negative cosine power negative 4, add 1 to it. It will be negative 3 divided by negative 3, the new power, plus c. Then it will be what? Negative by negative will be positive 1 over 3 cosine power 3x plus c. Okay, number 6. Integrate from 0 to pi over 4 for radical 1 plus tangent square x with respect to x. 1 plus tangent square, this is an identity which is equal to what? Secant square. Then from 0 to pi over 4, secant square its radical is secant x with respect to x. And we solved the integral for secant is ln absolute value for secant x plus tangent x in the first example. But this is from what to what? From x is equal to 0 to x equal to pi over 4. Then we will replace x by this value and by this value and subtract the difference or subtract the results here. It will be here, it will be ln absolute secant pi over 4 plus tangent pi over 4 minus ln absolute secant 0 plus tangent 0. If you use your calculator, it will be 0.88 roundly. Okay. Thank you for watching.